Alright guys, just got back from the inspection shop and the MT has passed the inspection, so she's now good to be licensed, and we're going to fit this second-hand Akrapovic Ti system. It's very good condition for second-hand, and I got it for about half the price, so let's fit it up and see how she sounds. Before I put these header pipes on the Akrapovic Ti system, I decided I would give one a bit of a polish. It'll still end up going this colour, but got rid of all the scratches and discoloration, and now it can basically recolour itself from the beginning. But yeah, a bit of Autosol metal polish and a Scotch-Brite pad, and yeah, she comes up pretty much like brand new, but maybe even shinier. For those of you playing at home, the header flange nuts that go on the engine up in there are M12, and the O2 sensor here running underneath, it goes behind this cover, which is two M5 Allen key cap screws, and here's the connector here, this one. That's your O2 sensor connector. So I'm going to disconnect this and unhook it from all these hooks around here before I take it out of there, just so the cable doesn't get all twisted trying to unscrew this. That should keep it safe. And then there's further fixings under there for the exhaust, and to get to that, it's looking like I have to take the rear set off, which is just these two. Here's a little comparison of the two, the stock exhaust and the Akrapovic one. There's quite a difference in weight. The Akrapovic muffler is not light by any means, but the stock one is pretty weighty, pretty thick. So to get the O2 sensor out of the standard exhaust, you need a 17mm spanner, and that'll get it out. Here she is, all fitted up. Akrapovic Ti system on the MT07. Polished the headers a little bit with some Autosol polish, and this is what it looks like. I've had it running for about 5 minutes, so it's already starting to yellow on the headers, but it's looking pretty good. Let's see how she sounds. Decently louder at idle than the stock exhaust, which pretty much has no sound at all. This is what it's like revving it. Oh yeah, buddy. That'll wake the neighbours up. So word on the street is that the RC8 baffle actually fits the Akrapovic Ti muffler. That's the part number just above my thumb. Because I'm using this as a commuter, I thought this might be a good idea to try out. So this is the RC8 baffle straight out of the box. Has a hole there for a retainer screw. And this is the carbon cover you've got to take off the Ti muffler. Has 3 Torx bits screws, and it has these little fibre washers on the inside that hold the screws in, so it can be a bit painful to get off if the muffler's still on the bike. There's a Torx bit, it's a T30, and that's what you'll need to undo those pesky little screws. And there's the 3 screw points there on the muffler, and you can see the hole where the previous baffle has been drilled out of the muffler. And this is the RC8 baffle. It slides in, it fits perfectly. You just need to line up the little screw hole, which can be a pain in the ass, and tap it in with a dead blow or a soft hammer. This is how it sits in when it's tapped in all the way, with the screw hole lined up. As you can see, the angled cut on it is not the same as the muffler. The angle's different when you line the screw hole up. So I'll be cutting this off. So with a permanent marker, I just went around the edge of the muffler and marked the baffle on where I need to cut it. Yeah, and inside there's like little welds that bulge out. They help to hold the baffle in place. I was going to grind them down, but in the end I just couldn't be asked, so I left it. It should hold them in quite nice, the baffle, but I just left it at that. Put a little bit of anti-seize on the baffle when I put it back in to make things a little bit easier. So I'll cut this with my Dremel. Here I cut it with the Dremel, but I cut it about 5mm shorter from the marking I put on with the marker, just so that the baffle would sit inside the muffler instead of flush. And here it is after a cleanup with the Scotch-Brite wheel on my bench grinder. It came up quite nicely. And here's the RC8 baffle fitted back in the end of the muffler, all buttoned up. Tip for young players is to remove the whole system before you try and do this, because those Torx bits in the end of the muffler cap are a pain in the ass to get to. So now I've got the baffle in, we'll see how it sounds. Thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful for some of you MT riders that like to DIY and do stuff on your own bikes like I do. Cheers.